Hello friends, and welcome back to another episode at SudokuManiacs. Now yesterday we once again had another hybrid Sudoku. This time it was a combination of a diagonal and an anti-knight Sudoku. Now before I go ahead with this video, there's some history that I wanted to share with you. When I started creating puzzles way back in 2010, I was very much interested to see how it would be to combine two different variants. The idea took place, and then we decided to have an online competition at the Indian website logicmastersindia.com. So there, an entire competition was devoted to this hybrid or the mutant Sudokus, as they were called at that time. It was the first time that I was attempting that, and I was very anxious to see how it would be received by the people. Three-time world champion Thomas Snyder wrote a glowing review of that contest, asking his followers to at least download the puzzles if not take part. And for a new person who's just started his journey as an author, that was a huge compliment for me. And that's when these hybrid Sudokus became a part of my authoring package. Every now and then I do dabble with combining two different variants. And I do try to see that the variants that I use stick to the normal definition of a Sudoku and do not require any other logic-based puzzles to be involved in this. So the solving techniques that are used to solve this will be confined to the regular techniques that you use to solve a normal Sudoku. That is, the digits do not repeat in any row, column, or a box. Having said that, yesterday's puzzle was a bit on the tougher side, as was the time shown by a lot of solvers. And let me tell you, there are a lot of top 10 players in the world who do come and play on my website. Some of them are future world champs, and definitely there's one who has already been a world champion in 2016, which is Teet Wang of Estonia. Now, let me tell you, Teet actually and absolutely smashed this puzzle. He solved this in a flat 4 minutes, and the next best time was nearly around the 10-minute mark. So the two things that we can derive out of this, that the standards of solving of a world champion are definitely way beyond what a normal person would be. Secondly, that means the puzzle was not too hard, provided you could find the narrow breakthrough that was intended. So let's start with the puzzle, and I will try to show what was the path that I had intended the puzzle to be solved by. Right? To begin with the rules, digits cannot repeat in a row, column, or a box. There are two marked diagonals. Again, the digits cannot repeat along these two lines. And also, a digit cannot repeat at another cell which is a knight step from itself, as in chess. So for example, if this is a 7, the knight step would be these two cells, so I cannot have a 7 here. Right? Now having said that, let's begin. Starting by normal facet, this is a 5, this is a 5. I cannot have a 5 here because of the anti-knight constraint, so this has to be a 5. Right? This is 5. 5 cannot be here, it cannot be here. It cannot be here because of this constraint. It cannot be here, so this is a 5, this is a 5, which makes this is a 5 and this is a 5. 5, 5. 5 has to be in these three cells, but it cannot repeat on the diagonal because we have a 5 at the central square. So this is a 5, this is a 5. So for row 7, my 5 has to be part of these two cells. Again, it cannot be on the diagonal because of the 5. So this becomes a 5, this is a 5, and this is a 5 because of the classic rules. Alright? Now, when we have puzzles which have a very narrow path, it is always good to have pencil marking done. Now let's look at this diagonal cell. I cannot have a 1, I can have a 2, I cannot have a 3, I can definitely have a 4, I can't have a 5. I can't have a 6 because of the knight step. 7, 8 again for the knight step, and 9. Right? So the only two options that can be here are 2 and 4. Similarly, this I can't have a 1. I can definitely have a 2. 3, not possible. 4, yes. 5, not possible. 6, 7, again not possible because of the knight step. 8 and 9 also not possible because of the knight step. So we suddenly see that we have a pair of 2 and 4 on the second diagonal. Now let's look at where the 8 can be. 8 cannot be here. It cannot be here because of the knight step. It cannot be here. It can be here, 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 and here. There are way too many places, right? So let's use the pencil marking thing once again. In this cell, can I have a 1? No. 2 is not possible. 3 is not possible because of the knight step. 4, 5. I can have a 6. I cannot have a 7. I can have an 8, but I cannot have a 9. Correct? And similarly in this cell, I cannot have a 1 and I cannot have a 2 because of the knight step. 3, 4, 5. This 6 is possible. 7 is not possible. 8 is possible, and 9. And we see that we have found another pair. Correct? Which means the remaining 4 digits have to be 1, 3, 7, and 9. I can't have a 1, 3, so this is my 7, 9. This is 3, 7, 9. So my 1 has to be locked here. 9 and 7 are not there, so this is 1 and 3. 1, 3, 7. Now we have narrowed down the options. Now, when I look at these two pairs, the buddy cell for these two pairs are these two, right? Which basically means in whichever position the 6 or the 8 comes in, I cannot have the 6 and 8 here. Neither can I have them here. So keeping that in mind, I cannot have a 1, I can have a 2, I can have a 3, I can't have a 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Correct? And this would be 1 is possible, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is not there, 7 is not there, 8 is not there, and 9. Right? Now comes the tricky part. Then this is where the puzzle opens. Let's look for the option 3 at the positions where the 3 can occur in the central box. I can't have it in the row. I can't have it here. So it's 3, 3, and 3. Correct? But when I look at row 6, the digits or the positions where the 3 can come is in R6, C3 and R6, C5. These are the only two places where a 3 can occur. Now when we look closely at the grid, irrespective of where this comes, 3 cannot be in R4, C4 because this cell is at a knight step to both R6, C3 and R6, C5. In other words, if this were a 3, I cannot have a 3 here because it's in the same box. I cannot have a 3 here because it's at a knight step, which doesn't leave me with any place to place a 3 in box 4. So that's the reason we eliminate the 3 from R4, C4. So which gives me a 3 in either R4, C5 or R6, C5, which makes this a pair of 5, 3, right? And with the 4, I can have 4 here or here. But just like we did with the 8 and 6, with this 2 and 4, irrespective of where the 4 is in the diagonal, I cannot have a 4 here. The reason is if this was a 4, it would be in the same column, right? This is not my 4. This becomes a 4, and by classic rules, obviously this 2 and 4 are gone. Right? This 1 cannot be here, it cannot be here, this becomes a 1. So that gives me a 2, 9 and a 2, 9. Which part? Now. Yes. This was a 4. Right? Now 4, 4. So this has to be a 4 as per classic rules. This is a 5. This becomes a 5. This becomes a 3. And because of this 3, this is eliminated. This becomes a 3. So 3, 3. I have a 3 here and I have a 3 there. Right? This would be a 4. This would be a 4. So now this 1 cannot be in these two. It cannot be here. And this is a 6, 8. So this is my 1. This is a 4. Correct? Now with these two 4s, 4 cannot be here. It was supposed to be in these two cells. But with the diagonal, this becomes a 4. This becomes a 4. And we have solved all the 4s. Correct? Now with this 1, I cannot have a 1 here because of the night step. So this is a 1. So this goes, and if we remember, the 1 was logged in this diagonal here, so this becomes a 1. This is 1, 1. It cannot be here, so 1 is here, 1 is here. And for this diagonal, 1 is not here, it's not in these three, it's not here, not here. This is the only place left for 1. This is a 1, this is a 1. Here so far with this 3, oh yes, we can definitely place this 2 here. So this becomes another 2. 9 cannot be in these two, and because of here, this becomes a 9. So this is a 7, 8. Okay, we can put the pencil mark there, and this would be a 6, 7. This is a 6, 8. This becomes a 6, 8. So we got a pair of 6, 8 here, which basically means this is a 3, 7. Oh, 7 is already here. 7, 3, 7, 3, 3, 9. And with this 9 here, 9 here, this can be a 9. It cannot be because of the 9 step. This is a 9. So which basically means 9 for box 3 is logged in these two cells. 9, 9, 9. This becomes a 9. With this 9, 9. This is a 9. This becomes a 9. So that leaves me with a 2, 8 and a 2, 8. Good? Now, 6, 7, 9. So, okay, 6, 8. 2 cannot be here. This has to be a 2. This again becomes a 6 and an 8. And this would again be a 7 and an 8. So with this 2, 2, 2 cannot be here. 2 cannot be here because of the night step. So this becomes a 2, which places the 1, and we wrap up the 1s as well. And this would be again 6, 7, 8. So 2 cannot be here in the diagonal. It is not here. So this has to be my 2. And this would again be a 6 and an 8. 8 has to be here because this is a 6, 9. Now when I look at these two 6 and 8, 6 and 8, both these cells are at a night step to R3, C2, which basically means irrespective of where the 6 and 8 come, none of those digits can repeat here. So this has to be a 9, 9, 2, 6, 8, 6, 8, and with an 8 at a night step here, this becomes a 7, 8, 6, 8, 6, 8, 6, 6 because of the classic rules. So this is a 5, 5, and I have a 7 and a 7. And the only missing digit here would be an 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's right. And 3 here. So 3, 3, 3. this becomes a 7, and the last digit here 2, 8, 6, and this would be a 7, and this would be an 8 and a 6. And this was the intended path on how to solve this anti-night diagonal Sudoku. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and share the video. Also, give us your feedback through the comments. Utilize the comment section. Let us know what did you like about the video or the puzzle for that matter. And if at all you feel that there is something else that we could do for you, do not hesitate to let us know. And if you have not already subscribed to the channel, I suggest you subscribe and click on the bell icon so that you are notified whenever we place new content for you. Right? So till the next time, happy solving.